Twitch era. Twitch just messing with us tonight, and I swear to God, I think it froze our intro video. But we're rolling with the punches. Mike Crawford, Young Jerks, welcome to the show tonight. We've got a few different segments we're going to do tonight. Definitely two different segments. One on Trulieve, which we've been focused on quite a bit lately. We're going to continue on that, talking about Trulieve and some of the things that happened this week over there. But to kick off the show, we're going to talk to the family. We just lost someone in the cannabis community, Lewis Hicks. So we're going to bring up the family right now, and we're going to talk about their GoFundMe for Lewis, who had 3 children, a fourth on the way, and just recently passed away. I'm going to welcome Hugo and Tamar. Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
how are you?
Good. Welcome to the show tonight. I wish it was on better reasons to have you on, but welcome tonight.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mike. Thank you. Yeah, it's tragedy, it's like he was a great person, his love for his family, his love for, cultivating, farming, like everything. It's just such a tragedy, such a loss in the community. And, we just want to be here for these children right now and make them feel safe and be there for his wife and his family, and that's why we're here right now. And this is his brother-in-law, Hugo.
Yeah, I was good friends with Lewis my whole life, and I became part of his family, and now we're just trying to pick up the pieces and do everything we can for these children who have lost everything, and we wanted to come here because Lewis was very active in the cannabis community, and it was a huge part of his life, and all aspects of farming and cultivating, nurturing, and we wish he was here, and now we're just trying to do what we can. So
He wanted to build a legacy for his family in the industry. He wanted to, have his family and have them like at the top of this world. And, he had so many dreams, so many aspirations that were just like cut so tragically short, and we just look at these children and his family, and we just, want to do everything we can to make sure that they're okay.
I mean, yeah, it's the industry of cannabis, retail and cultivation, and the whole community, underground and elsewhere. It's a whole world, and it can be brutal too. And to have somebody who is such a big part of that, just disappear it's just heartbreaking. So we're hoping that other people who are in the community can help us reach out to help these children.
I hope so. We have the LinkedIn on the screen. We're also posted it in the comments section. You can see that, if you're on Facebook, Twitch, looks like YouTube too. They posted it everywhere for us. So you can check out that, the GoFundMe, donate to help the Hicks family. I want to see some more donations tonight. I hope people are sending the family some money. It looks like you've raised over $9,000 already. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. And it's, I never wanted to start a charity drive, but when this all happened, I just knew that it was something I had to do. And, to, out of respect for Lewis, and it's just, it's a tragedy, and
his children are just the sweetest things, and and they're so strong, just like their father was. And it just breaks my heart. No one should have to be that strong that young. And we just want to make sure that they don't feel that loss as much as they will. You know what I mean, in that situation. And at the end of the day, I know that he would want the best for his children. And so we're just here trying to do that. And also, like other families who have lost a parent, to children, like that, our hearts go out to everyone who's in this type of situation, because it's truly heartbreaking for a young child to see a loving parent disappear, you know. It's very
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah, it's you know, you hear about you know, tragedy, but you just don't believe it. You don't know it until it happens, you know, in your own world, you know, right next to you. And you know, it's terrible. And you know, these children are the collateral damage right now. And you know, we're trying to do something great to help a family that's, you know, at their weakest moment right now, and they need our help. And you know, he was
He was a good
he
man.
was a great man. He was a legend,
Yeah,
I will
he
say.
was.
And
Yeah.
you know, the stories go on and on. This guy's life is a trilogy movie series.
You know, he was one of the most loyal people I've ever met. Like, if you ever needed him, he was there for you. It didn't matter about anything as long as he could help you out, you know? That's what I think I'll remember him the most in, is that like he was somebody you can count on, you know? And now I feel like like his family is counting on us, you know, in a way to like help out as much as we can, bring as much attention. Like, we want to put together a cannabis friendly fundraiser in his honor. You know, information to be released, but we're trying to figure out like when and where we're going to do that. And you know, I think it'd be a great opportunity for people from all around the cannabis industry, like, to come together and to enjoy each other's company, to remember him, to help his family, to celebrate his life. Because I know he would have wanted that. He would have wanted all of us to celebrate him, you know, and just remember all the good he did, you know. So
Now, Lewis was trying to open a cannabis dispensary in Cambridge, right? I read about that, there was like 3 locations with him and his wife that they were pursuing. Is that correct?
So yeah, it's known that Flavia is involved in the community, very much so, as well as in ownership. And she is in a in a very hard position right now. And you know, we want to do everything. Right now we're doing everything we can to protect the whole family.
and she's like so strong, you know, holding this together. Like, she's such an amazing person. And you know, and I think that like her love for cannabis is honestly, I think, what she shared too with Lewis. Like, they just bonded over their love of the plant, you know, and all the wonderful properties it could offer, you know. And and I think right now, like, it's hard for her to focus on that because she's just trying to hold it together for her family, you know.
That's what
It's
I'm
also,
thinking. It's got to be hard. Like that, they had all these plans, and now
Yeah.
this is just a tough industry that they.
yeah.
Because I remember Flavia. Like I don't, didn't know them, but I just remember that trying to open for a while. Like this is like
Mhm.
so frustrating
Yeah.
that he died. Like during this huge long process that I just don't think it's going to happen now. Like I can't imagine what she's going through right now. I just
Because
people
right
need
now,
to support this family. That's the bottom line on this.
yeah, like right now her focus is on her family and her kids. And you know, she's just trying to like make sure like her kids are okay. And you know, and she's so amazing, like, you know, to not be able to take time for herself and just push through and be the glue of this family too, you know. It's just such a beautiful thing to see. And this is what I believe, like, what goes around comes around. Like, you know, like someday they're going to be able to do it when her focus can be on that, you know. Right now, it's just about these kids and making sure they're okay. And then down the line, refocusing on their business and ventures. And I'm sure, like, you know, she needs a little time. You know.
I want to thank Hugo and Tamar so much for coming on and talk about this. You said there were like a lot of like stories about him. Can you like share some of the things, like things that people maybe have shared with you, or
Sure. Yeah.
stories that you've experienced with him?
Yeah. So he was intense. This guy, let me tell you. Like in a way, you know, he kind of set a standard that we could really hope to live by. I swear.
You really.
And what I say by that is, he took his physical conditioning and martial arts disciplines and everything that he studied, even on
Mental.
an intellectual and mental and philosophical level, all that, to an extreme level. And
And he was also kind too.
he was an enigma in the effect that he was an intense fighter. Literally, he was a professional mixed martial arts fighter. He was a Golden Gloves boxer. We wrestled together at Belmont High and had great success, the best success of all time, for our program. But a lot of good stories, a lot of good memories. And he also, was so involved in all kinds of farming as well. He inspired me to through his connections, of his activity in the farming world, to join a farm in Rhode Island where we had thousands of poultry and livestock, and every just changed. He's changed people's lives. He has saved people's lives, and we miss him so much. So I could go on all day about this guy. I don't even know where to start.
I want to ask you, did he, like you said, martial arts, Belmont? I'm thinking Belmont High School because I used to wrestle and coach, and we used to go to the Belmont High School wrestling tournament. Did he wrestle? Did he wrestle too?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no. So him and I were on the Belmont High wrestling team. He was 152, and I was 160.
One of my kids got bit by a duck out in front. He came in. He's like, "Coach, I got bit by a duck," because the ducks were out front, right? Or am I thinking about the other? Because there was another school from Belmont High.
Yeah, that's Clay Pit Pond right there.
Yeah.
So there's a tournament at Belmont High every year, which is now the Brendan Grant Memorial Tournament. Who, unfortunately, was another teammate of ours who's passed away, and in another tragedy. And that's a very competitive tournament. He competed at the highest level, states and the Lowell tournament. He was a state sectional champion. In a section with Franklin and Natick and kind of like the heyday of local wrestling.
What year? What, 80s?
2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I only lost to a couple people my senior year, and one was the state champ from Franklin, which is they were.
Powerhouse.
I don't remember Kalachi or Davis. I don't know. It was probably before your time. Those guys were mean.
It was like a factory they had there, just churning out, state champs. It was crazy. It was made it the hardest section to be in, if you ask me. So
there's a lot of good wrestling in Massachusetts. Merrimack Valley Conference, I always think is like top.
Oh yeah,
like that's just brutal.
Chelmsford, Lowell.
My coach, my high school coach, used to always take us to the Lowells. Just to humble you right in the beginning of the year. Go to the little Lowell tournament.
Yeah.
Like,
I mentioned at one point in the GoFundMe one of the epic matches that he had, which was at the Lowell tournament against a kid from Chelmsford who I believe was a 3-time New England champion, and he had a level of discipline and conditioning that, and toughness that allowed him to compete with the best wrestlers, out there, period. And, that particular match, that I'm thinking of, was just a showcase of all that. He was tough as nails, this guy. And,
even at a young age, he was like that, but he was also like super kind. Like I remember one time, it was after I got my license and my cosmetology license, and I was with friends and I fell and I broke my foot, and I didn't know anybody to call. It was late, and I called him, and he came right away and he got me, took me right to Mount Auburn, waited with me while they like ripped everything off, and like he was just such a good friend, Like it's somebody that I could always trust and turn to when I needed someone, when you need someone in your back. And that there's not a lot of people like that in this world, So I want to highlight that about him because he really was like a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yeah. So yeah, it's brutal, and you know, it's these poor children now, and you know, we just
They
have to do
loved
we just have
him
to do
so much. Oh,
everything that we can, and you know, I never could imagine that, you know, be so close to tragedy, and you know, now these poor children are caught, you know, they're caught in this void, and you know, we got to pick them up, and you know, it's we just got to do everything we can, so that's why we're here.
yeah.
Have you heard a lot of outpouring from like the cannabis community itself? Have you seen like that on this or not?
There was a number of people who I met over the weekend who knew him, and you know, through the cannabis community, and it was great to get to know them. Some people who knew him, and knew him on a whole different level. That you know, because he had so much going on, and yeah, you know, so it it was good to meet some of the people that cared about him from the community. Yes.
Any final thoughts that you want to kind of share tonight on this for the family, or you know, just about Lewis himself, or just to the audience to let them know?
I mean, off the top of my head, I'll just say, you know, we've had a lot of support already. We've already, you know, we're going for $10,000 right now. We're trying to break through on that number right now, and this money has already changed the lives of these children who are caught in a tragedy right now. And we're hoping that, you know, we can raise enough money that we can, you know, be there for their security for the long term. And you know, it's you just never know what tragedy's like until it's right there, and that's where we are right now. So
Yeah, definitely. And and just we want to like do what he would have done if he was here, Like he wanted the world for his family, for his children, and we want to make sure that they get that because they deserve it. His wife is a wonderful woman, his children are amazing, and we just want to make sure that we got them here. And this is why we're here to pass this message along to show the world, like, he was an amazing person, and loved life.
I hope people donate. You can find the link. It will be, if you listen on the podcast, you'll find it in the description. If you listen to it on live right now or on the replay, on the video replay, you just look for it as the top comment. You'll see it there. Or just do a Google search. GoFundMe, donate to help the Hicks family. It will come up. Look for the picture of the kids. I hope you raise a lot more money, and thank you so much for being here tonight, Hugo and Tamar. Again, thank you so much for being here and representing for your friend and family, the Lewis Hicks family.
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're the Young Jerks. We have some other guests, another guest coming up, Danny Carson as well. Again, I hope that people do donate to this cause. Donate to help. Look at these three kids. Oh man, it's hard. My girlfriend just lost another good friend too this weekend or this week. It's really hard. I hope people give to this family. I'm gonna give some money. I'm low on funds right now, but I'm gonna give some money. I hope people cough up some money for this. A lot going on too with Trulieve. Danny is sitting, waiting, watching. I'm gonna bring him up in a second. But there's a lot going on over at Trulieve. Danny Carson was there this weekend on Friday, giving out some free food. I'm gonna talk to Danny about what happened. Let's see if we got him up here. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you, Mike?
Good. It's hard. I think you were listening to that. You probably yeah. Any thoughts on the Lewis Hicks, the
Yeah,
family
really
that was just
sorry to
here?
hear about that. Of course, my my thoughts go out to the family. It's always hard when you lose somebody. Absolutely. And I hope that people do support their GoFundMe for the Hicks family. But I'll definitely get that shared out as well from my end.
And you've also got a lot going on too. Hopefully, we can share out your links. You've got some links. Oh, looks like you know what's so funny. Twitch. I don't know what's up with Twitch. We're not on Twitch tonight. We never get any response on Twitch, but last week we actually did get like some response for once. And now Twitch isn't letting us go on. I don't know what's going on. But it's pretty funny because that screwed up our intro video. I saw that tonight. Like once the Twitch went down, the whole system like it was funny. It's funny these software programs, but I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm fascinated sometimes by like all the things that can go wrong on this. And there's every time we start a show, something goes wrong. It's just
Yeah, absolutely. Technology, it's the best thing and the worst thing all at the same time. Sometimes I feel that at work myself.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
But we're not on
absolutely.
Twitch tonight. If you were expecting us on Twitch, find tell everyone we're not on Twitch. We know, you know, it's funny though because all of a sudden we are getting listeners on Twitch, and now it doesn't work. But okay, we'll be fine.
Roll with the punches.
Yes, but you were at the reason we're having you on tonight is you were at Trulieve on Friday, giving some food away to some cannabis workers. What happened? What went down? And
Yeah,
what was your purpose? What were you doing there? Tell us
yeah,
all about this.
yeah, sure. So we were doing free food for cannabis workers on Friday. Uh, and we set up just a small little grill, and we were doing hamburgers and hot dogs this time. We're planning to do more in the future, and I think we'll have some food trucks out there and things like that in the future. But we've got in touch with a local business across the street from Trulieve in Holyoke, and they agreed to kind of help us out. So we set up shop across the street, and while we were there, we were handing out flyers about how to map your hazards in the workplace, and really just like handing out information and trying to talk to workers and understand really like how they're doing, and what's happening and what can we help them with, and really just kind of seeing how the conversation went. Um, I and a couple of other volunteers went out and put these flyers out on vehicles in the parking lots and things like that, and handed them out to some workers while they were leaving work. And it turned out that Trulieve had a workers event that same day for their employees, which number one, I'm grateful that they're taking care of their employees. Um, if it was at the same time as our event. But they were out there during that time, which was interesting. Um, and they had they sent out an email to their employees saying they were going to have the biggest raffle ever, but you had to stay to get the prizes. While we had our free work food for cannabis workers across the street. So um, yeah, it was definitely frustrating not being able to reach as many people as we wanted to, but I would say it was still a successful event. We did get in touch with a few workers, a few people that reached out to us since then, and the QR codes, the analytics from that have a huge spike since that happened. So I think that we're really getting some insight from that event, and I think that more to come in the future in a few weeks. Maybe we can do it again. And we'll have an even bigger outreach to workers to really see, what we can help them with, just as volunteers and advocates for change for workers' safety in Massachusetts specifically. And uh, all in all, I think it was a good event.
We're getting a little bit audio buzz back on you. I'm just what are you using a microphone or what are you using? Anything or just the computer?
Just my phone actually.
Your phone, okay. Is it moving at all? Seems
No,
like when you talk, it just buzzes a little bit. I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be just the signal.
yeah. Weird.
That's all right. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world. I'm just what sometimes I like to, see if we can make it better, but
Right.
it seems fine now.
Okay. That's strange.
Yeah,
Maybe it's Trulieve.
it could be
That's
me
fair.
too. I think it's just the signal. Sometimes cell phones can be wonky. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is. We'll deal with it. It's not terrible.
Okay.
Um, I probably shouldn't even say anything, but just like so, they announced an event while you were there giving out food with a food truck, right? And that they're
Yeah.
going to give out this big prize, big raffle. People had to be there for it.
Right.
That's pretty funny. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like it seemed like they found out that what you were doing, and they. How many people like do you think you heard from or saw that day? Like, did you talk to like because you said you gave out some of these QR codes and some of the
Yeah.
information. How many people do you think you talked to that day?
I talked to probably 5 people myself. Um, but one of them was the general manager of Trulieve, which I didn't know until after I'd spoken to him. I didn't go over and, shake hands and say, hey, this is who I am and I know you're general manager, but he actually approached me while I was standing on the sidewalk outside of their facility. Um, and he asked me what I was doing there. And I said, oh, not knowing who he was or anything, I said, oh, we're just out here. We're giving free food for cannabis workers. We also have information on how to map hazards in the workplace. And we're really just out here trying to talk to workers and understand if they're safe, or if there's anything we can do to help. And he said, oh, okay, interesting. Are you out here with the union? And I said, no, I'm not personally with the union. I'm just out here just as a volunteer. Uh, and then he grabbed a flyer about mapping workplace safety hazards and walked away. So, yeah, it was interesting.
It's pretty funny that the general manager decided to come over.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's the one who decided, the genius who decided to do the raffle at the same time.
right. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. Their HR manager approached one of the other volunteers that was out there, um, and she, again, I didn't know at the time who these people were, but she walked up to this volunteer and asked them if they needed something, and the volunteer said, "No, I'm okay, thank you." And then she said that she was going to make a call, like to one of her other people that were with her, like, "Do you want me to make a call? I'll make the call." And so I was wondering, like, is it police that she's calling, or is it she calling Kim Rivers, or is she calling who's she calling? But yeah,
Did the cops show up?
no, no, we just
Maybe we should FOIA request the Holyoke Police Department and see if there was a
I didn't see
truly
what
phone
happened.
call. They
Yeah,
would tell us.
right.
They would have.
Sure. It's a good point. It's interesting, always, if that was their decision to do that. It would definitely be intriguing to me to know that. Yeah, and one of the people who came through, because I was standing at the sidewalk walk of the parking lot entrance. So, like anybody that's going to that facility, they're gonna drive right past me at a pretty slow rate. So I can at least hold the sign up that says we're having free food, across the street. And their health and safety manager drove past at one point, who was the health and safety manager when Lorna passed away, and was, after she had passed away, was promoted um, to the regional health and safety manager. He drove past, so I gave him a wave, and he acknowledged that for sure, but didn't reach out and to say anything or anything like that.
Man, crazy.
Yeah.
Um, both of us know there may be another whistleblower speaking out soon. I haven't followed up lately with them. Have you heard if that's like? I feel like it's probably going to be happen pretty damn soon.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's funny because in the last week I've actually had another person reach out to me as well, and I connected with another current employee pretty closely yesterday. So I think that a lot of people are starting to kind of build up their voices right now, which is really great to see. And I am looking forward to seeing and hearing much more from what's happening, what they're struggling with, and seeing, what opportunities for change that they see being the subject matter experts inside of the walls. So looking forward to that.
I talked to one of them recently and expecting them to come on the show soon. The stuff that they told me was explosive. And I
Yeah,
just can't wait to share it with the audience. So either way, it's going to come out soon. So people, if you think this whole thing with Trulieve and Trulieve Holyoke is over, you haven't seen anything yet. Like we're still on this, and there's more that's going to come out. You agree with that, Danny?
yeah, absolutely. Like you brought up FOIA requests. That's something we should do on a lot of different accounts of, looking to see, really if ambulance have been there in the past, have been called there and left with workers, like, how many times, so that we know how urgent, these issues are, and if they're still happening, or do they happen sporadically when they have, maybe more humid temperatures and mold and things like that. uh, there's a lot of insights that can be gained with getting more information, and so I definitely look forward to anybody that can share that.
Um, Something else that happened this week that I thought was kind of just gross, and this group, remember Roz McCarthy? Do you know who Roz McCarthy is? Do you remember, Danny? Who she is? What her claim to fame is?
No, I'm just learning about this.
Okay. So Roz McCarthy is the leader of this group, Medical Marijuana for Patients or something. I don't even know what the heck the name of it is, honestly, but it's a medical marijuana front group um, that gives awards to Trulieve and Curaleaf, it seems like every other year, depending on who gives them the most money. They don't, they have no transparency. We have no idea how much money they're given. If they're actually given money, they won't answer. Their IRS, we've looked into their IRS documentation. They're way behind on it, so they don't file. There's no transparency in this group.
Uh,
And after Lorna died, and after we were covering the story and broke the story, they decided it would be again a good time to give Kim Rivers and Trulieve an award for the Inclusion and Diversity Award from their group. And this is Roz McCarthy, who incorporated her charity in the state of Florida, where Trulieve is from, which is a red flag. Uh, uh, Roz is from the state of Georgia, which actually has one of the most restrictive medical cannabis laws in the state, in the country, and they only have two licensed dispensary groups in the state of Georgia. Guess which is one of them? Which one do you
Tru-
think?
Truly,
Trulieve. So Trulieve is one of two licensed companies in her state where Roz grew up, and she's okay with that, and she calls them the diversity inclusion champion, gives them money. And this week she posted a photo meeting again with politicians, and this time it was our U.S. Senator, Senator Warren, who's usually great on workers and sticking up for the little person. But you know what, Senator Warren, I'm going to throw this out there. She's never come on the show. We've reached out to her, I don't know how many times, through friends and campaigns, and we've had a lot of friends that are tight with her. Never come on this show. But after Lorna died in the state of Massachusetts, in your district, Senator Warren, after Trulieve has the most OSHA complaints against it from workers, after they have the most employee lawsuits from workers against them, after they have again a National Labor Relations Board allegations, complaints against them in the state of Massachusetts right now with Trulieve in the Framingham location. They're actually hearing that case in Boston as we speak. This week, workers are actually having to go and testify in Boston about the NLRB complaints against Trulieve, with all this against, against workers from Trulieve, Elizabeth Warren thinks it's fine to meet with Roz McCarthy, and I called it out on Twitter. I think it's a bunch of BS. Elizabeth Warren is silent. Roz, who we've brought up all of this in the past on LinkedIn, she never had anything to say, never responded. Today, this morning, she actually did respond and called my allegations false and libelous and all this other crap, and said that she was going to pray for me. I told her I didn't want her prayers. I just want transparency. Tell us how much money you get, your organization, your nonprofit gets from Trulieve and Curaleaf for us. That I don't want prayers. I want truth. I want transparency. That's all we want. And Roz won't give up the numbers. She's not going to tell us how much she got in donations. Looks like she's not even telling the IRS. She's not even, looks like her nonprofit status might be taken away if she doesn't. I'm no nonprofit expert, but it sure looks like the nonprofit hasn't filed the right documentation that they're required to. So we'd like to know. I think Elizabeth Warren, you should be talking to Danny. You should be talking to Mascosh. You should be talking to the family of Lorna. You should be talking to the unions, UFCW. You shouldn't be talking to Roz McCarthy. You shouldn't be talking to a front group for Trulieve. What do you think about all this, Danny, now that I've laid it all out?
Yeah, wow. Absolutely. You nailed it.
Did I nail it, though? Because I think that I was on mute the whole time. Was I on mute? You heard that?
No, I heard you.
I hope our audience heard it. I hope I didn't just. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I was on mute the whole time, and you heard it, which is strange.
I did hear it.
Oh my God. I think I was on mute the whole friggin' time.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
That was a good rant too.
it was. But I'm spot on here. Senator Warren needs to focus, her attention as Roz is saying here on this public safety issue. Like that's what she is concerned for. Is interesting. But I mean, this just speaks to all the ethical issues that we see, especially in PR and things like that around this industry. So yeah, I really think that Senator Warren and a lot of people need to be more transparent. Roz needs to be more transparent with the nonprofit and funding and all these things that seem like they're kind of seems to being a front for a Trulieve at this point with all the connections to Georgia. So yeah. I'd love some more transparency. I think that could go a long way in a lot of different areas of this industry, for sure.
I'm gonna repeat myself again because I think I was on mute when I did that rant, which is strange that you could hear it, but nobody else could.
Huh.
That's weird. But I actually brought it up on LinkedIn to see, and of course you can't go back, so I can't check to see if I was on mute. But I think I was that whole rant, which is really driving me crazy. But I just want to go back and explain everything again. I know it's repeating myself for you, Danny, because you heard it.
It's okay. It's okay. Please do, Mike.
But we're looking at we're talking about Roz McCarthy and Senator Elizabeth Warren, who met with Roz McCarthy this week. Roz McCarthy is someone who has given awards to Trulieve after Lorna McMurray passed away. Her group has not disclosed if they take donations for Trulieve and Curaleaf and give them awards for those donations if they're pay to play. We believe they are. We've looked up their IRS nonprofit documentation. They don't file. It looks like they're behind in their filings. And we called it out. I called it out again. I've called it out a bunch of times. Roz has never responded until this morning, actually, it looks like, or maybe late last night. But in the last 24 hours, she responded finally when I responded to her on her Twitter. Oh, so Jeff Rawson said he heard it all. Thank you, Jeff. So I don't have to repeat myself. This is good. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff is saving me tonight because it was better the first time, wasn't it, Jeff? It was, wasn't it, Danny? It's always better the
Yeah.
first time.
Of course.
That's the thing
That's
tonight.
about
Like
it.
I'm looking at the numbers, I'm like, there's not enough people listening for me to know. Like they're not telling me. Jeff, thank you. So they did hear. That's weird. This button, I don't know. I must have had it out on the. It's very strange. A lot of strange things are going on in my studio tonight.
I love it.
Danny's like, I have no comment right now. This is funny.
I'm just taking it all in.
So I don't have to repeat myself. That's good. Even though I did repeat myself. But it's for me, I feel like Elizabeth Warren, like I got a question for you, Danny. Do you think Elizabeth Warren knows? Or do you think she's just clueless?
Uh, Part of me wants to say that maybe she doesn't know. But it just day by day is becoming more difficult for me to believe that with all of the things that are happening, in this industry, and also in the world in general. So
Yeah. I in the old days I would probably give someone like Elizabeth Warren a pass on this, like saying, she doesn't know, we have to educate her, which is true. I think we do have to educate her. However, I don't think you get a pass on this one. And if you don't know, it's not our fault that you don't know. Like you need to at least, do a little research on this stuff. And
yeah, absolutely.
someone died,
Especially
like
the senator.
Senator Warren, someone died, a 27-year-old died in your state. If you don't know about that at this point, I mean, the Boston Globe covered it. High Times did 2 stories. Leafly did like 5 stories. Benzinga, marijuana news, like everybody has done a story on Lorna McMurray.
Yeah.
Mass
But
Live.
what's interesting, Mike, is I talked or one of the volunteers that worked with me on Friday at Trulieve talked to a worker that didn't know about Lorna's passing, and they work in production at Trulieve. They
It's
didn't know.
crazy. Someone that works there right now did not know she passed away.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the media censorship throughout social medias of what cannabis, sharing cannabis related posts and things like that, even if it's about workplace safety issues. But this stuff about, it's it's difficult to get out there. And I think we need more education. We need to let these people know, like Senator Warren, like the representatives throughout the state. And I mean, even the CCC and the city of Holyoke didn't know about her passing for quite some time. So it's really, it shouldn't even be a surprise at this point to know that there's just so much lack of information and education out there on this issue. Uh, it's insane.
and you've also got a new link tree that we're gonna post up to on the StreamYard. I hope people check that out and follow all the different links. It's link tree / Canna Safety.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's lots of different material on there to educate yourself, to educate workers, to also call upon these people yourself, to educate them. If you have, people that are within your scope, within your network, to talk to educate about this issue, of workplace safety in the cannabis industry in Massachusetts and beyond, because this is honestly a national issue, then yeah, please go to the link tree, share this information, and help get the word out, about Lorna, about these issues that cannabis workers are facing. Let people know that they can unionize and how to do so. There's links to UFCW on there as well, as information about Mascosh's NIOSH's HHE, health hazard evaluations and kind of what that is, and how to prepare for an HHE at your work site and things like that.
So the NIOSH health hazard evaluation that's coming up, you talked to at least one Trulieve worker, a couple of them, it seems like. Do you think they have any interest in like cooperating with that and stepping up?
I think yes, I do. I do think that they will voice their opinions to NIOSH when their team is on site. Um, but I think that Trulieve is going to do something to, you know, either make it seem like their voices are kind of, don't really matter, or they have the information wrong when they said something to NIOSH about it. They're going to do something, and if they can't do that, they're going to, they're going to fire them. They're going to terminate them, which is the sad part about this, is that people are losing their job every day because they're speaking up about workplace safety issues, uh, which is absolutely illegal, 100% illegal. And these people are from our communities. They're going to work to try and be safe and earn a living like everybody else in America is trying to do. But the cannabis workers are treated like they're felons to people who have power in our community, unfortunately. And it's up to us, the workers, advocates, people around it that care about cannabis, to make change and to call upon people who have the authority to make that change. So, yeah, that's all I got, I guess.
And are you expecting to go back to Trulieve and try again, or do you have any other
Yeah.
ideas that you're doing right now? Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a few ideas in the works. This, I think, honestly, gave me a lot of inspiration, to go out and to be, right next to the facility and talk to workers and really re-engage with some people, that I haven't talked to in a while, that are still there, um, and it reminded me of some ideas of kind of, uh, where these people go, and how to reconnect with them, and it also inspired me to know that there's so much purpose and passion of these workers out there, that we need to really be out there to help them voice their concerns,
And
because
aren't you also having like a barbecue cookout type party too with all cannabis
yeah,
workers?
yeah,
Tell us
absolutely.
about that.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks, and just it's going to be just a relaxing place for cannabis workers to come and talk about, really what changes do they want to see, what's going on, how are they doing, and just connect and really mingle with each other, and be able to do what we all wanted, which is to be in a community together, as people in cannabis, around cannabis, lovers of cannabis, of just being ourselves. And so that's kind of gonna be that night, and I'll be able to share more information as it becomes available, I guess, as we plan things like that.
Awesome. I guess I have a question too related to the Roz McCarthy thing.
Hmm.
Um, Roz said that, I lied. I was lying about her. A couple of us asked her, like, what are the lies? And will you disclose how much money you took from Trulieve, your nonprofit? Do you think she'll respond at all to those questions? What do you think the odds are?
I think she probably won't respond, but I would love for her to respond. I think she should. We should all feel empowered to use our voice, and I would love for some transparency and honesty, from a lot of these people, but specifically from Roz. That would be great.
That would be amazing.
That would
I,
be
I would I would have a lot more respect for Roz if she would just tell us. Like,
yeah,
just I don't think Roz is like Kim Rivers. Let's put it that way.
right.
I don't think she got $8 million a year every year. But how about some transparency, especially if you're gonna try to shout back at me on Twitter, Roz?
Right,
Like
exactly.
either complete silence, which you've been doing for months, or like some real transparency, Roz. I mean, I don't think she has it in her. I agree with you. I'd love to be wrong. I
Yeah,
love to be proven wrong.
right. Me too. I would really love it. I would love if cannabis companies and anybody, that's making money off of cannabis right now would do something right, and ethical, and help others, and yeah, absolutely.
And I know I'll probably get some pushback because I had an event with some sponsors too, right? Like, for the workers just recently. People were trying to give us a hard time about it. And
Yeah.
like we haven't talked about every dollar, but I will say on that event, like we definitely took home less than $200 for ourselves. Like
Mm.
it was like we gave away every dollar we made. And when I mean like every dollar, like
Like,
we paid for.
yeah.
Oh God, you
Yeah,
go. You
you
want to?
don't need to. I mean, listen, there's gonna be, I guess, at least one person out there that's always gonna have
Right.
something to say
But
about
I
it.
mean, our event was a small time event, so I just
Absolutely.
for people to know that, like,
Yeah,
and
there's
and like it's almost embarrassing for us to have to lay out like we gave $50 to this person, we gave $75 to this person, we gave 100 because that's what we did with the money. Like we gave. I wish it was. I wish I could turn around and say we gave $1,000 to this person. We gave 500 or we can't because we didn't raise much money. You know what I mean? So small potatoes, but we're trying. We tried with that event, and I think it was a good event anyway. So,
Yeah,
but
I
people
agree.
do push back. It's so funny.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, the things that people come up with when they're just grasping for anything to hold themselves up. But yeah, no, I think the event was really good. The award show that you threw for the workers, I think that was amazing. And it's like what I did on Friday, the stepping stone of what's to come for next. And it really, those events, I think it helps connect community a little bit. We realign with people, and then we plan for the next thing, and I think that's great.
I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more happening. I can't wait to speak to some of the Trulieve workers that are. I expect at least one to be upcoming pretty damn soon. So I think we're gonna have a lot more for the audience, and I think we're all gonna be blown away by some of the things that we hear.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you so much, Danny and Brenda, Quintana, and Mascosh, and everybody that's working together to help workers, cannabis workers in Massachusetts right now, because it's important and you're making a big difference right now.
Yeah, there's so many people to thank in this, because I couldn't have even been on that sidewalk without everybody that's been able to help uh, put things together and give me confidence to stand on the sidewalk to begin with. Because really it was a year ago it was kind of, I felt like I was the only person kind of out there type of thing. And there's definitely been a huge community, thanks to you, Mike, that's come along around this, and around me, and Maskosh and their whole team, specifically, Brenda, Nancy. They've helped so much, and same with the UFCW. They've really, I think, rose to the occasion and showed up for cannabis workers as best as they could, even given them all the challenges that these companies throw back at them with their union busting techniques and the crazy things that they do, just to reduce the information that cannabis workers are allowed to have. I don't know. Uh, Information shouldn't be weaponized. It's information for their knowledge, to make decisions. And so I think, if you really care about your workers, you should let them know what's happening, and protect them the best that you can, with that information. So yeah, there's a lot of people to thank for getting all of that out to the people, and for really getting me to be able to be out on the sidewalk on Friday. So I'm glad to have them beside me.
And again, for people that are, maybe listening to the podcast later, you look in the description, there will be a link tree for Canna Safety. You're going to have a lot of information on how to get in touch with Danny, how to become part of the movement. One of the things I would love to see people make sure they do is the email volunteer sign up on that. Make sure you're clicking on that and getting involved, because Danny, you're doing a lot right now, and the community is, and I want people to be a part of it. So definitely join up, because you'll be surprised on what's actually going on right now. Right, Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. Please sign up. Please help. Please use your voice in your spaces, anywhere that you can. Um, there's a lot happening. We have a lot of things in the works that I think will come to fruition in the near future. So, just stay tuned and please help wherever you can.
And again, I want to thank you so much for calling in tonight, Danny, on this long weekend. I know a lot of people are probably going to listen to this later, because it is such it's a tough Sunday night to
Yeah.
gather people when they're out partying and having cookouts and all that. So I want to thank you, Danny. I want to thank all of our guests tonight. I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank Jeff Rawson for making me not have to repeat my rant again.
Thank you, Jeff.
He's, he said, "You're welcome." He said, "No, we heard you." I want to put that up. No, we heard you, Mike. He said it was a great rant. I think it was. I might have to just
Yeah.
cut that out alone. But we also have an announcement too. Like we're doing a show on Thursday night. I'm getting away from cannabis a little bit. I'm going to something a little more fun. I got this guy coming up. He's a return guest, and he's quite something. If you know about him, you know about him. His YouTube is called The Professional Douche, and you've probably seen him on TV or seen his videos at this point. This is his video from the Trump arraignment. He was classic. He troll. He's just a nice little troll that makes me laugh a lot. He trolls every side. I hate him when he trolls Black Lives Matter. I love him when he's trolling Trumpers. I'm very biased. I'm going to tell him that. I get very mad at him when he does Black Lives Matter. But he calls himself equal opportunity troll. But we're going to be discussing with him some of his latest videos, some of his latest work. He's very close to Mike Pence. He just trolled Mike Pence, but he's very close to him. There's a new video of him and Mike Pence, and he got a ton of media attention at the latest arraignment. But you've seen his videos. His videos are even better than the media attention he gets. 60,000 subscribers. He should have like a 500,000. Like, this kid is a genius. We're looking forward to having him on Thursday night at 7 p.m. He's got a lot of fans. We expect phone calls. We're gonna have the phone line up. You can call in all night. If you want to call in tonight, you can also do so. But we're about to go. But put that phone number in your phone book if you're a supporter of Michael Picard and you've always wanted to talk to him in person. This is going to be your chance. You're going to be able to call in 978-560-3155. And he does great work. I do like Michael a lot, except when like I said, when he trolls Black Lives Matter, he is dead to me. You think that's fine? You agree, right, Danny?
Absolutely. But
We should maybe
look
maybe we should have you on here, and you could beat up Michael when he gets out of line.
I'll troll a troll any day. Yeah,
You'll
absolutely.
troll, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having Michael. I do consider him a friend, even though he's, right of me. Obviously, I have friends on the right, but he does good work, especially against these Trump haters and the Nazis. And we're looking forward to having Michael Picard back on the show. He did take a little break for a little while, and it's good to see him back too. So we're looking forward to that on Thursday night at 7 p.m. I hope people call in. You can also call in tonight if you have a question for Danny or any comment on the show tonight. Maybe you're a friend of family of Lewis Hicks that we talked about earlier. If you want to call in and make a comment on any of that, 978-560-3155 is our phone number before we go off. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of touch on tonight, Danny, before we just, get ready for craziness on Thursday with Michael Picard.
I look forward to that, definitely. But no, nothing for me. Just please, keep doing everything that you can for cannabis workers and safety and your spaces, uh, and thanks for everything that you do, Mike. I appreciate it.
And I'm looking forward to Thursday too, when everyone calls in for Michael, but they don't want to talk to me. It's gonna be funny. Like they don't even know me. Like it's like when he comes on my show, he takes over and he apologizes. He feels really bad. That's like, dude, I love it. I love that you have this many fans and you'll come on our show. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's exciting. It's gonna
but
be fun.
that's fine.
He's the nicest guy, Michael Picard.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't know if we're gonna get serious Michael, like when he answers the questions, like or we're gonna get the troll. He might be trolling. We'll see. I think he's gonna be in troll mode because his. I have a feeling we're gonna get some calls from his people.
Yeah, I look forward to that for sure. It's always interesting to see the rights, kind of what they're hard pressed on, and I'm always interested to watch and see.
Maybe we'll even close with a video from him right now. Do you want to see some of his latest work? Do you want to just get a taste of him on the way out?
Absolutely.
We could do that. Let's look him up right now. I'm gonna look him up. And I guess before we do leave, is there anything that you wanted to shout
Yeah.
out or discuss before we go?
If any Trulieve workers are listening tonight, I hope that, number one, you feel empowered to use your voice. You know that you can reach out to us, to the Linktree account, to Mascot, to NIOSH, to OSHA, to the CCC, to your management, and also you'll have your NIOSH HHE coming up before you know it, and so really journaling any kind of issues that you're having, whether it's stress issues at work or it's physical stress issues at work with labored breathing or sneezing or coughing, wheezing, more headaches than usual, or anything that you can note of importance that be related to what you're working with, or what you're working around. Um, it's important to journal those down and keep note of them. And there's a lot coming up. So, reach out if you have any questions or any concerns. And I certainly am here to help. And I know a lot of people are willing to help. So that's all I got.
Yeah, it's weird. StreamYard's not working. Allowed me to share the screen tonight. A lot of issues with StreamYard tonight. Oh man. That's okay. We'll get it on next week. And now see what it did? It's sharing on my whole screen, which I didn't want to do. Oh God.
Mike, you have so
Oh,
much
hopefully
going
there's
on.
another. We'll stop that. Let's try it again. I don't know why that's not working. So weird. Select Windows or screen. Yeah, it's not letting me come up. Oh well.
You tried your hardest.
You know what? I could be on the wrong. Oh, it's me. No wonder why everything's going on. I'm on the wrong browser. That's why. It's always me. It's not StreamYard. It's me. That's okay. We'll play the Picard videos next week on Thursday. I tried. We're not ready for him tonight. We're not ready for that. It's too much anyways. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong tonight, but we're okay, aren't we, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hanging on.
We're totally fine. We still got this up. We can put you back up and we're good to go.
Perfect.
And Roz McCarthy. Call in Roz, call in Kim.
Yes.
They never call in.
Kim.
Yeah. But again, I want to thank you so much for calling in tonight, Danny, and all of our guests and listeners and supporters for always sharing and liking. And this is like our fourth show in like 7 nights. So, we wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't people requesting it. So I really thank everyone for the support and folks like Danny too, especially. I really appreciate what you're doing, Danny. And I hope everyone supports you. And we'll see everyone again on Thursday night.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. All right.
And
See you then.
you know what? We did have one more comment before we left. Sorry to see all this interference, but great to see you guys spreading awareness. Alex Miller
Yes.
writes, he's listening tonight. Thank you, Alex, for listening. And we didn't, since Alex did comment, one of the things before we do let you go, Danny, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think people realize too, like, this is a tough topic to talk about because I don't want to scare Trulieve workers, obviously. But there has been concern, like from folks like Alex and yourself, and other whistleblowers that like Trulieve is like going to harass you and maybe even send some goons out to take pictures at your house. And you've had that concern, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely increased our security at home, from, because of actual issues and concerns. And, I've had to call the police a few times, and it's of course it's concerning. It's scary when you're dealing with somebody with a lot of money and power, and going against them, and what they want. It's always terrifying, but at the same time, you realize how much power you have, uh, and that really there's nothing that they can do. As long as
Except try to
I
intimidate you.
as
Except
long
try
as
to
I
intimidate.
continue to do what I need to do, which is to use my voice and tell the truth, then there's nothing that they can do.
That's right.
And so, with that, kind of fear became kind of a power as well. And Alex has helped me a lot with that as well. So, and you as well, Mike. So, we all have to bind together, and organize ourselves and unionize ourselves to get through hard times. And this is definitely, something we all could work towards. Yeah.
It's empowering when you realize that they may care that much that they try to intimidate you, but you can't be intimidated. Like,
Right.
and there's nothing they can do about it. You showed up.
Yeah.
I love that you showed up too with the Young Jerk shirt on. Like that, that must have made a statement right there to some of them. I mean, I just can't imagine. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of workers don't know, but I guarantee there was at least one person there that was like, "Oh my God, they're here!" Like, when
Yeah.
they saw that
Yeah.
bright yellow Young Jerk shirt.
Yeah, I thought it was a good poster. Absolutely to wear it. And it makes a statement, that really I'm not scared. And certainly I'm not scared anymore. Your kind of legal terminology, Kim, and all the things that you think are most important in this world, they don't really scare me anymore. Um, I've feel empowered by other people who are speaking up, and that's something that you can't buy with your 8 million a year salary. So
That makes you very dangerous to them too, because
yeah.
they are. Who's really afraid. I think it's Trueleaf. I think Trueleaf is afraid. I think they're afraid of this information coming out and more people finding out about it and workers getting empowered. And I think they are afraid of this movement. I think
Yeah,
they have
no, I
tried
think
to
they are.
ignore it and,
Yeah, I think they're
stifle it.
afraid, and I think that people make bad decisions when they're afraid, and um, and especially bad decisions with money. And I think we're also seeing that happening at Trulieve too. They're gonna, what we're gonna see more publicly, I think. But yeah, I think it's interesting to watch how they're acting and reacting to all of it, because it's very much fear based.
I think Roz and Kim should call in. I know that they listen. 978-560-3155. Call in, Kim.
Yeah, I noticed that Truly of Mass's Facebook page has been looking at my Facebook page a lot. So yeah, it's always interesting to see who's looking in.
For the last, since we broke that story in October, every week, more Trueleaf employees look at my LinkedIn than any other employer. And I don't think it's rank and file workers. Like, I think it's management. They look at us every single day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's obvious. I took a phone call, I think it was yesterday or the day before, 8:30 in the morning from a Florida number. I really thought it was Kim. I'm like, who else is calling me at 8:30 in the morning from Florida? It was a Trulieve worker, current worker.
Hmm.
You get a lot of Florida Trulieve workers calling. They usually call off hours. They're it's like calling during the show.
Yeah.
So funny. Like, they'll call me tonight. The show will end, and at midnight I'll start getting. I swear to God, I call it like because the number that we use it goes through to my cell phone. I think people have figured this out already. But if you call off hours, it still goes through to my cell phone. So, you know, I like getting those calls too. 978-560-3155. Hey, if you want to leave a tip, you can also do that, if you're a True Leaf worker. But I'm looking forward to the shows. Again, Thursday night, Michael Picard. I want to thank you so much, Danny Carson, for calling in tonight. I want to thank Alex Miller and Jeff Rawson for leaving comments. And I want to thank Tomar for calling in tonight, and Hugo talking about the Lewis family and the great loss. It's really sad. I hope people do support that as well, and follow everything that we're doing through Danny with the link tree / can of safety. Make sure you hit all those boxes and join the email list and do all the good things on that as well. Again, I want to thank everyone for tonight. We're the Young Jerks. We'll see you again real soon. And again, expect a lot more on this Trulieve Holyoke stuff. I'm looking forward to some things coming out. We'll see you all soon.